series. Default, change it to microphone.
This one?
There we go.
Now you can hear us? I might just hold it like this.
We're idiots.
We were getting stuff set up. Thank you for telling us, Rachel, though.
Yeah, so welcome to When You Wish Upon a Podcast. We were recently talking about D23 Expo. We were talking about the news. Basically, what's going on with D23 Expo. The long and short of it is there's a lot of things that happened. Some good, some bad, some meh. The only reason we didn't live stream it, because it's been about 2 weeks, was because...
Well, a week ago. It was last week. D23
it's because they didn't really want to show us, except for, like, YouTube videos. Okay, back to the topic. So, at the D23 Expo, they did do a little highlight reel on Variety, which shows off things. So they were showing off, again, Star Wars The Mandalorian. Star Wars The Clone Wars is returning to D23.
Oh, you mean Disney+.
Disney+. There's a lot of other Star Wars-related projects that are, like, going in onto Disney+.
They're basically, right now, they're milking pretty much your Star Wars and your Marvel.
They're also going based on the old Star Wars books written.
But I know, but still, they're milking it. They're milking the Star Wars and they're milking Marvel.
And then at the end of that, Ewan McGregor comes out. They ask him if he wants to play Obi-Wan Kenobi again. He says yes. The crowd goes fucking wild.
Woo.
So
it's like, I don't care.
So I'm expecting at least something behind the scenes of, like, what happens after 3. You know, like, what happens to Obi-Wan Kenobi on his journey? Because, again, when Darth Vader turns into Darth Vader, he's still Darth Vader, but you still have a very young Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
So, and I guess
I'm just gonna say, to me, it's like I could care too. It's just not me. But I understand there's other people that do like
Disney. They showed off some future projects. They already have Mulan and a couple others set up.
To be honest, you don't know it. Yeah, I don't. I know a little bit, but I don't like go all up in arms about it. Like I don't fight like some people fight.
Yeah. So for Disney Plus, at least on the Disney side, there's going to be some new Disney shows like High School Musical, the musical.
Yeah.
Show.
Yeah, it's going to be a show on Disney Plus, which is kind of like I might watch because I was don't get me wrong, I was a High School Musical fan back in the day. You know, from the first 3 movies, I was.
So yeah, that's pretty much, like High School.
Okay, Eric, that's fine. But hi. But so that's going to be interesting because I think I would like it more, that High School Musical, if they made more cameos of the original cast.
Right.
To me, it just seems like it's like an all new cast and nobody, it's like if you give me like people that show up out of nowhere, like Sharpay or Troy, somebody, I don't like this whole like totally new.
Okay, so but the other thing is the original cast of the High School Musical are the coaches for the new.
Not really.
Yeah, it's like some of the returning cast is coming back in order to be like the teachers.
I doubt it because it doesn't show because I've watched the trailer. There's not even an inkling. Because like I would sit there and say, if you were on stage,
more times than not, because they stated this at the
because on the stage it just shows like new people, all of them. Like,
I know,
even the teacher was new. It's not even Mrs.
I know.
Jarvis.
I'm saying like I guess what they're doing is like they're going to be in it. But I don't know for too many
doubt it.
I'm guessing they will, like they did with a couple other shows, but it's just like maybe a cameo here and there. And then
doubt it.
And then it's like majority of them.
Nope.
Anyways,
it won't because if they did, they would have if they had that happen because they have pretty much all the stuff already done because they have to get this done before November 12th if this is coming out at the same time.
Anyways.
So I doubt that they're doing it because they would have showed it. It's like, hey, expect this. Well, a lot of times they do that.
They said it. You've just never watched it.
I did. I watched a trailer. They didn't say nothing about it.
Just a trailer. No, I'm talking about
the show trailer because they would tell you in the show trailer, like, hey, expect it. No, yeah, they do.
During the D23 Expo, the guy who's doing all that, he's been saying too, expect a few cameo appearances. This is where the High School Musical cast is kind of like in the background.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I'm saying this is what I've been hearing.
If it's going to be more of that, it's going to be somebody that was more low key character. It's not going to be
probably
because you're not going to get Zac Efron.
You never.
I doubt it because Zac Efron's too much into his nothing against him.
No, but
he's too much into his own movie career that
Well, think about it this way. Think about like Full House, but or Fuller House, but like
Fuller House.
they've
Bobby-
had cameos, obviously.
No, and they just became characters. I just never really said.
Yeah, and then
cameos.
but still, anyways. So then there was the, and you're gonna hate this, but there's a new Lizzie McGuire show.
Oh, I know, and I'm excited for it actually.
Okay.
I'm excited. I liked Lizzie McGuire back in the day. I actually wish I wish whatever her mom did was stupid because they could have kept going on with the show, like at least up until high school.
So I guess
school.
not only did the new director for the Lizzie McGuire show give the thumbs up on finding the character, but Hilary Duff herself
is returning as a 30-year-old woman.
Yeah, is returning, but at the same time, she also threw in her creativeness on like trying to find, as they call it, Lizzie McGuire 2.0.
Well, but she's still going to be the character. But she's a 30-year-old. They're kind of going with like her being a 30-year-old woman.
Yeah, but I'm guessing
That's
like
what
they're using a new as a flashback kind of thing.
I don't know, but yeah. But I wish they did not get rid of that show. That was all on Lizzie McGuire's, Hilary Duff's mom. She was a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to say, because that show could have gone through her high school years.
Yeah.
I can understand stopping when they get to college, but they could go, because I was like all excited for it. Even that last episode is like you didn't know until the movie came out, because when they made the movie, it kind of whatever. But still, it's like that last one, and it was like you guys are just like leaving us all hanging, basically. I just didn't like it how it ended, I guess.
Because my phone's acting stupid. So I know there was.
But also, yeah, we got Lady and Tramp on Disney+ that's coming out on November 12th. Live action. I'll try to do something with that one.
Okay, so right. So,
and then another one on Disney+, though. It's a Christmas movie, and it's called Noelle. And it's about, like, she's this kid of Saint Nick, but one of her brothers is
her
Santa
brother,
Claus. She has two brothers. She has the one that's, like, the one that became Santa Claus, and then she has a brother that's, like, a tech guy.
But because
I guess
so what the story was, I guess due to the stress of the holidays and all that, prepping everything.
You're not giving me any time to sit there and explain it. I was going to explain it.
Go ahead then.
You were like ignoring, like you think I'm not going to explain it. It's like basically she's the sister of Santa Claus. She's a daughter of Santa Claus, and her brother was getting high strung. That was Santa Claus. Told him to go take a weekend break, but he took it as I want to go bye bye, like take a weeks, months, whatever.
No, just take a permanent vacation.
Well, a hiatus, like a long hiatus than just a weekend. Because she said, "Oh, I told him a weekend." And they all got freaked out, and she goes finds him, and he's a yoga instructor, which is hilarious. Then he doesn't want to leave, but it stars what's her name? Anna Kendrick. I'm gonna say, yeah, she plays as Noelle.
I know.
So it looks interesting. It looks kind of cute of a Christmas movie.
Anyways, so what they've shown off was a bunch of other shows. There's a show called Encore. There's a show that's called The World According to Jeff Goldblum. It's a Discovery show. So that's interesting. The Diary of a Female President. Yeah, High School Musical, the musical, the show. Yeah, the new Lizzie McGuire. And then there's Monsters at Work.
Oh, I saw that too.
The new Monsters, Inc. show. So it's just like, okay.
I wish they kind of did, like, I know they did, like, the university and all that jazz. Why can't they just go off the base of, like, what happened after the first movie? Why can't we do that? Why can't we just, like, because it seems like we're going backwards and we are going forwards.
Right.
Because we're going all these prequels, like, this is how this is. This is how this is. And I'm just like, can we at least go off the basis of Monsters Incorporated, the first movie, instead of we're doing this backwards thing?
So there was also a bunch of Marvel stuff.
Of course, Marvel. But we're now in phase 4 of the Marvel Universe at this moment.
Right.
With all the movies. They're coming out with Black Panther 2.
Yeah, Black Panther 2, Moon Knight.
Eternals.
Yeah, the Eternals. She-Hulk.
Black Widow has her own movie coming out too.
And many more. And then they have the Marvel Studios.
And they have Thor with Love and Thunder.
Yes. So, and then they have what they're planning on premiering on Disney+, and that is, again, you don't need to hold this.
Well, I'm trying to make sure they can hear us. That's why.
They can hear us because it's coming through the computer, not the...
Are you sure?
Positive. Again, this is not plugged in, so they're hearing us from this.
Sorry, I thought it came from that. Sorry. My bad.
It's okay. But, so they also... ended it with Marvel Studios' What If, and that's going to be another television show on Disney+, and it plays actors and actresses. They call out certain ones like Scarlett Johansson and a few others to kind of reprise their roles for short-budgeted, episodic things, where it's like, okay, what happens if like one small thing changes up the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe? So like, what happens if Thor was no longer allowed to, wield I can't pronounce the fucking name, Mjolnir or whatever it is? Or, what happens if the Hulk lost his powers? Or what happens if, what if this, and what would it do? How could it change the storyline? How could it either be better
Basically
or
a what if
worse?
show.
Yeah.
So it's like, you get the gist of what ifs. They're like, it's like if it did go the way you see in the theaters, what's going to happen if it didn't do it that direction.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool. Well, in the next movie they talk about is Frozen 2 coming out in November, but it's not on Disney+, but it's going to come out in the theaters, which everybody's all anticipating on this movie because they want to see what happens.
Yeah.
And they are actually saying that Elsa is not getting a love interest in this movie at all. So there's no love interest whatsoever because everybody's wondering if she was going to get a love interest. Either it was going to be a female or a male. So at this moment, no any love interest for Elsa.
So this one caught my...
Actually, I think this one is like Frozen 2. What they're saying is this one is basically based on her powers, like where they come from, whatever.
Fine. But this one caught my interest even more. So they said it at D23, but it wasn't like. I mean, it was announced, but it's still in the works. They said so it could change. But apparently, I guess it was getting their own show. Josh Gad with the
Olaf.
Yeah, the Olaf character.
Okay, cool. They're milking. That's what that is. If a character gets their own show on like
Again,
Disney Plus or anything like that,
this is in production phase, so you don't know if it's going to like.
Well, but either or, if they're still doing it, it's because they're milking it.
Yeah, they're milking the Frozen franchise and trying to see if they can make a profit off of it, depending on if the kids like it or not. And if they don't like it, then obviously it's not going to see the light of day. But if it does, the fucking Frozen show.
But that's what I'm just saying. Like it's one of those things where it's like you just know they're milking it. It's like with Star Wars, they're milking it because they're bringing all this other stuff out. Marvel's the same way.
They're already milking out the fucking 90s again.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. They're milking out everything they can. They're milking to see how much profit they can make out of this with, being relevant or whatever they want to think. But some of us are just like, don't care. Give us some more different original stuff. You're kind of missing that point. It's like, I hate getting the repeats of stuff. Why can't you guys have a team that just sits there and thinks, oh, why don't we do this storyline? Like, let's talk about this. No, we're just stuck in like, oh, we're just going to remake everything. That's just easy. Oh, let's just keep going on this franchise because this franchise is like popular right now. Star Wars is popular. Marvel's popular. Let's just milk. Like, we'll get the last bit of that milk out of that franchise. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, Disney, you need to get back to the originality. Back what Walt Disney was doing, creating stuff that was original, that wasn't,
Well, I mean, to its credit, with the Disney Pixar
but I know most of the Disney stories are based on actual already stories made, but at least they twisted it into their own story too, because they changed a lot out of it. So it's
that's what I'm saying. Like,
they still need like, there's more stories out there. Like, personally, I would like to see them do kind of like a princess or a prince movie based in Africa. They have royalty there just as much as we do. Or England or anywhere else in the country that used to have, royalty. They have royalty there. Why can't we get into that, in that depth? Why can't we do that? We're all like stuck in the European, we dipped in a little bit in Oriental. We dipped in a little, we dipped in some other ones, but none of the full extent where, their history. Like, what did they have? They had some sort of...
What is Brave?
It's Scotland.
Okay.
She's Scottish, because I know that.
Is there an Irish princess?
No, but like I said, but European...
Is there an Italian princess?
No, but I'm just saying, but they're based around in European. Like, I'm talking about...
I know, but I'm saying,
I know I'm lumping them, and I know they're each individual countries, but it's still part of Europe itself, like Europe itself. We're all sticking, like, what we know, like, Europe. We're sticking with Europe, like your Denmark, your England, your France, your Germany, your typical ones. I would like to see, I mean, come on. I know now she's probably now considered a Disney princess now because of, it was a 20th Century Fox princess. But, Anastasia,
Thumbelina.
No, Thumbelina wasn't a princess. She was just a fairy. But Anastasia, 21st Century Fox did the movie of Anastasia. I don't know if they're ever going to incorporate her, but she could be a Russian princess. I mean, she was an actual real princess. But, it's like to the point where, I would like to see other countries just besides your typical ones that we always hear. Like somebody that's small. Portugal, for Christ's sakes, get Portugal. That's like a small little country that they're small. They're not like they're huge like Spain is.
Well, if you want to go for small, why not get a Polish princess?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Why can't we get others besides our typical? Because we got a lot in Germany. We got a lot of France princess. We got a lot of, all these other ones. It's like, or even in Great Britain, and I'm lumping the Scottish and stuff like that too. But it's like Africa. We don't have even one from Africa. Yeah, they're going to call Tiana because she's African American, but she's African American. She was born in America, and it was in the 1920s. So I exclude that. It's like America because she's just American. She's totally American.
No.
I want the actual. We're going into Africa, like an actual country in Africa, and we're learning about their royalty.
A Nigerian princess.
Yeah, something. Actually go into that country and because Disney does a thing too, where that's like you're learning about that country in the same process of the story. Like you're getting to the story, but you're actually seeing something like this is how they did it back in those days. That's what the age group. Like Ariel talks about age group. Yeah, she was 16, she got married, but the thing is that was the norm back in Denmark in the time period she was in.
Uh-huh.
So you're learning a little bit of like kind of a cultural history. So
you're really getting into it.
But I need Disney to do that. But Disney's just sitting here in its own little bubble, not doing shit, and just like, let's just stay here and we'll just pop out what we already popped out and we'll just make it a live action. That makes us money. To an extent. I'm sorry. It's like, to me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to rewatch this movie then. I'm rewatching this movie. Oh, it's in live action. That's the only real difference. It's actually real people in there.
That was the funniest thing that I got into. Well, I was about to get into with a certain person in Discord. Because they kept saying, oh, the live action Lion King, the live action Lion King. I'm like, it is not live action. I don't know why everybody keeps saying it's live action.
Well, because it looks like it's live. I know it's not, but
it falls in the realm of animation. If it's CGI, it's called animation. Don't fucking tell me it's live action, because if it was live action, it would include actual lions.
Like I said, more or less, I'd say Lady and Tramp being more live action than anything else.
Oh yeah, no, they did.
Actually use real dogs.
They are, and they did, and they brought the dogs out at the D23 panel.
But they're actually real dogs. They're not.
They're
not
actual
CG,
real dogs.
Yeah.
And yeah, they actually brought the dog actors out on stage.
Like the only thing you'll see animated is their mouths moving as talking as people. That's it. I can handle that. But I do get it because Lion King's hard to get live animals because how the heck you're going to get like an elephant or
Well,
stuff
not only
like
that, but I mean PETA.
That too. But I'm surprised they didn't get hit with the Lady and Tramp.
Well,
I'm just saying they were having an issue with the dog one another time, but But the thing is, PETA can get over itself too. I mean, you can still be there, but you can sit there and watch them and see if they're trained correctly. Well, that's the thing,
I mean,
but also
so
too,
the messed up thing about
also too, what I'm thinking with PETA is because also, yeah, they're sitting there telling us, oh, they're being harmful to these elephants for the circus, okay, and all those animals. Great, yeah, you can tell me that, and you want to set them free, but you're doing more harm than doing good to those animals because those animals are trained to sit there and trust people and all that. They don't know their whole entire instincts of, oh, throw them back to Africa. They're going to die on the first day because they don't know.
Yeah, because that's literally what they do over at PETA is
that's fine, Rachel.
They quote unquote rescue them and they literally bring them out to the wild and they're like, huh? What do I do?
Yeah, they don't know
what they're doing. And they just walk off and try to figure out what the fuck to do, only to get killed maybe an hour or two later in the day. But no one tells you that.
Well, that's what PETA...
It's like, you're free! Oh, and you're dead.
So, yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's like, PETA needs to understand, too, yes, you want to set these guys free, but you're doing more harm than good. Because, yeah, you're throwing back in the wild, but they're not going to know what to do. Most of them were, born into the circus or born into whatever, where they were at. They don't have that threat of a predator coming after them. Yep. They don't learn all that or how to feed themselves,
or to go. Yeah, they don't know how to scavenge, Survive, defend.
So I guess I get you, Peter, that you're all for animals, whatever, but you need to realize how you're incorporating. I would say if you're trying to get them out of the circus in bad circumstances, the next best thing to put them in is the zoo. The zoo can teach them how to do what they want to do. You know, don't just go, hey, we're taking you back to Africa without no training of what the heck they're doing. That's just how I feel about it. But
next topic.
More movies. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is coming out this year in December. Woohoo! I'm kind of skipping all of these other ones that are like 20th Century Fox.
Oh yeah, the Rise of Skywalker is supposed to be the finale, quote unquote finale.
Well, anyways, I'm doing what Disney. It's like more Disney. I know 20th Century Fox is, but 20th Century Fox is still on its own little bubble for a little bit. But like Star Wars has been here for a while. And they have their own freaking land in Disney World and Disneyland. The next one in March 6th, 2020 is Onward. By the way, that movie comes out.
Yep.
I want to see that one. That one looks really cute.
See, that's what I was talking about with like originality.
Yeah, they're incorporating mythical creatures actually having lives. You know, it's not humans, finding mythical creatures. These mythical creatures have their own little world, like their own city, kind of like Monsters Incorporated, basically.
Yes.
That's how that this movie's going to. I'm assuming how it's going to base on, basically. But each like mythical creatures is like kind of like acts like a different thing in their own world. Mm-hmm. It's an errand or is it a quest? Thematics aside this from film from Monsters University's Scanlon is a suburban fantasy. Oh, Scanlon, that's how it's called. The suburb is called that. About two elf brothers who set off to see if a magic still exists in the world for a touch of sweetness. Note that this film is inspired by Scanlon's life with his older brother. Well, that's kind of cute. It's based on his own brother. Dan Scanlon is the director. Of course, Black Widow, which I said was released May 1st, 2020.
Oh, hey, look, there's the actual footage, or the actual picture.
Okay.
But still, we'll talk
about that later. Mulan, coming out March 27th to 2020. Live action Mulan, by the way. See, this one got pushed back, by the way. Artemis Fowl. It's on a book series. It was supposed to be, it's by Disney. It was supposed to come out next month, actually, September. Yeah. But it got pushed back till May 29th of 2020.
Sheesh.
It got pushed back a lot. Soul, which we talked about one time because they talked about it, it's coming out June 19th, 2020.
Oh, wow.
It's a Pixar movie. Looks kind of cute, actually. It has Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey as voices. Who the heck is Questlove?
He's a musician.
Okay, well, he's in here too, so just wondering.
Oh.
The Disney's Jungle Cruise, which I think is kind of cute, and I kind of laughed about it earlier, is coming out in 2020, but it's coming on my mom's birthday on July 24th.
Oh, no.
But July 24th, 2020 is the Jungle Cruise movie that was based on a ride.
Okay, but oh, no.
What?
Target stores are coming to Walt Disney World, and new Disney stars are coming to Target stores nationwide.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Disney and Target are joining together and will launch 25 Disney stores within the select Target stores nationwide on October 4th, with 40 additional locations opening in October 2020.
What to do? Cool. Awesome. I don't care right now. It's like nothing that's like really... It's interesting, but it's not that interesting. Hey, Ark.
Hi, Ark. We missed you.
Yeah. But the next movie they talked about is Raya and the Last Dragon. That's a totally new one I never heard of. Right, Last Dragon. It comes out in November of 2020. Disney gave fans a D23 first look at their upcoming animated title, Raya and the Last Dragon, at D23, and minds were blown by the hyper-realistic visuals. In the film, Aquafina? I think it's Aquafina. I want to say how I say it. I don't know. Who also stars as Scuttle in the... Oh, okay, yeah, Aquafina. Okay. Who also stars as Scuttle in The Little Mermaid, will play Sisu, this last dragon who flies by riding raindrops. It is the first animated Disney film to draw inspiration from Southeast Asian culture. Oh, look!
Originality.
That's what we just talked about.
First day off in 2 weeks. Oof.
But there we go. There's another originality I was asking for.
Really?
And then Eternals for Marvel. That's coming out November 6, 2020, by the way. Mm. Well, I'm excited for this West Side Story movie. coming out December 18th, 2020.
and
it's directed by Steven Spielberg, so it's going to be awesome.
Oh, also for those who don't know, yes, there is a Cats movie coming out. Good golly, Miss Molly.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That's a Marvel thing. That's coming out February 12th, 2021. Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange is in the Multiverse of Madness. Is coming out May 7th of 2021. This one I'm excited for. I wish it didn't get pushed back, but it did. Cruella. They're doing a live-action Cruella.
With Emma Stone, right?
Yes. That's coming out May 28th, 2021. With Emma Stone, Emma Thompson, Paul Walter Hauser, and Joel Fry. Taking a page from Melissa Book Playbook, this new film plans to look at Disney's classic 101 Dalmatians from the view behind the villain, Cruella de Vil's dark sunglasses. Emma Stone stars in the lead role. She has Glenn Close-sized shoes to fill, and the movie was described at the D23 Expo as punk rock, and it's set in 1970s London. Tanya's Craig Gillespie directs, and the movie co-stars Emma Thompson. Well, and I think Emma Thompson's the one that played Anita in the 101 Dalmatians live action they did. But I'm excited for that one. I want to get more of those. Why can't we get more of those? Like they did with Maleficent. Now they're doing it with Cruella. I wish they keep doing that with the villains. Like, how did they become this villainous? You know, how did they get there? You know, how did they become that villain? Well, besides Hades, Hades is a different story. We can't do Hades. He's a god of the underworld. That's just how it is.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
But yeah, so I'm not worried about him.
Movie I would like to see. I know it's going to sound weird, but I'd like to see 2 movies
on villains. Okay.
One being Scar.
Yeah, but that one might be more of a CGI, I think. But
it would.
Actually, no. I kind of want to do it like a mix, like with the Mufasa Scar, because they're brothers. What drove Scar to, we kind of get
what drove Scar, because he we
do get like tidbits of it, because it's like,
he was the brains, Mufasa was the bronze, okay, we get it, but how did it come to that?
Yeah, like how low did Scar have to go to become like, oh, I'm just gonna be a villain about it? Like, how low did he have to get? I'm like what fall did he get to do that?
Because what was it? Just like a battle between brothers that led to to be king,
or something to that.
Scar got the shit end of the stick because he wasn't strong enough,
right? Or age.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? Like that's what I'm saying. What drove it to become what we came to into the Lion King?
That would be interesting.
I wonder if Cruella is a prequel to the live-action movie, because the animated movies took place in the 20s and 30s.
Possible.
I don't know, but they're saying it's based in the 1970s. So I don't know. I'm thinking what they did, because the live-action 101 Dalmatian was based in that time period, like the 2000s. I think it was.
The live-action was based on the
like our generation.
So
basically.
It was based on like 1995. 1996.
I think it was like the late 90s to like early 2000s. It was around there.
Let's say like 97, 98, because the 101 Dalmatians game, they featured at the same time to kind of be on par with the movie. And
pretty much that whole movie was based in our time period. Anyways, because the original did not have
because the character, I can't remember the actor's name right now, but
how it got to that. Did it? Well, I think we need a more depth one, Rachel.
They made a video game, but it was a PlayStation 1 video game that the kid was actually playing.
Right.
So it was, roughly like between the late 90s, like 97 to 99 or something like that. This was before the PS2. This was PS1 era.
Well, there was... I'm also talking about computers were involved. Everything was involved. So,
it was a different time period.
I'm thinking that's what they're basing off is the live action movie itself, not the actual 101 Dalmatians back when animation it was made. That actually I don't even know if it was in the 1930s. Did it look? Yeah, it was, because I'm seeing the car. Yeah, the style. So basically, I'm thinking that's what it is. Yeah, it is, and you're correct, Caleb. I think it is going to be Wonder Cruella is a prequel to the live action movie. So yes, it is. But yeah, Rachel, I get that, but a lot of people don't know the Lion Guard as much, unless you have kids. Because, nothing against that, Rachel. It's a preschool show. Not much like us adults, unless we do daycare or...
Yeah, no.
I have a kid
when someone mentioned... Stewie was the first one to mention to me about the Lion Guard, and I was like, what the fuck is the Lion Guard?
See, well, yeah. I knew about it because, of course, daycare.
Yeah.
I know that. So, but it all depends, like, because that's what I'm trying to say. They need to do one where, like, everybody should know. Yeah, you could get the idea Lion Guard's there, but it doesn't mean, like, you're sitting there want to watch it.
Anyways, so back to the villain movies.
Okay.
There was another one I wanted to recommend if they could do it. So seeing the new live-action Aladdin made me think about Jafar.
Well,
because he stated before that he had to work his way up to become the Grand Royal Vizier.
Yeah, you didn't get that in the animated one because it didn't really say too much about him.
So I want to see how he became nothing from a street rat to the Sultan's best man. You know? Mm-hmm. At least want to see what he did
but you know
to climb that ladder and how dark he really had to go.
Right. But that's what I'm trying to say, too. Disney has so much room to do this stuff, but they're just doing this thing where they're just remaking movies that's already been made. Like, that's awesome. When they started doing Maleficent, that was awesome. We got to see a different side of her, and you kind of realize, oh, she's just misunderstood of a character. And then, you know, like how you said with Scar, you know, Scar's the same way, you know. I'd rather get villain side now. Now, Cruella, too, is doing the same thing. I'm assuming that she might be misunderstood, you know. Mm-hmm. Maybe she just got too obsessed over spots. I don't know. We don't know until we see the movie. But, or when the movie comes out, when they talk more about it. But that's what I'm trying to say. They need to do more on the villain side because we want to see where these villains come from. They have to have a life somewhere. They can't just be like, oh, poof, you're a villain.
Yeah,
you're sitting right there.
No. There always got to be an origin story for the villains, too, because something drove them into the world of chaos and madness, if you will. So something had to push them over the edge to make them who they are. Yeah,
when we come to that movie like 101 Dalmatians or Sleeping Beauty, you know, Lion King, when they get to that point, I want to see like I said, like a prequel.
Because again, that's why I want to see like a movie between Mufasa and Scar. I want to see what boiling point pushed Scar to go from, because they were probably brothers and they probably loved each other equally, and everything seemed perfect at one point, and then next thing you know, their dad probably died or something,
or that the dad favored one over the other.
Yeah,
and that can affect you too.
Exactly.
If one person, you know,
so there had to be a tipping point where something made Scar snap.
A live action Lion Guard for adults in the style of the new movie would be dope. That would be, Caleb.
Or again, Jafar. I would like to see how Jafar, because come on, Jafar seemed before
you know what? The only one I probably will never want to see become a villain, like a villain movie, would probably be Gaston, because it's a typical.
Gaston's just an asshole.
He's just an obsessive guy that just didn't like to hear the word no.
Right.
So that one I could care to. Who's like, they don't have to do that one.
There is actually no. There's three. So I want to see one with Jafar. I want to see one with Scar, and I want to see one with Ursula.
See, they have so many stories with that, but and there's like a little bit of a snippet of it in The Little Mermaid where she says, "I used to live at the palace. There used to be like feasts when I used to live at the palace." Like, so where were you? Like, were you like a vizier like Jafar, like that, or were you actually related to Triton, your sister, and your power? You know, because somebody did like a thing on Facebook. I saw this like a little comic animated from like, King Triton and Ursula were brother and sister.
Here's a different question.
And they got the stuff from their parents, like Ursula got the little shell, and then Triton got the Triton, of course. And then one became more like the evil consumed her, and then King Triton,
Here's a more interesting question. Where's Triton's wife?
You see that in the third movie, Ariel's beginning. She died. They were like that's why the whole premise of them, they could not have fun or go to land, was because she got caught by somebody. I think a human. Like as like a fishing thing. It does. They do. You do need to see her mom in the third. In the third, it's called. It's called Ariel's New Beginning, but it's like technically the third movie out of the group. It's like
but they never filled in that plot hole for Ursula.
We don't know where Ursula came. Like that's what I'm saying.
So they never filled in that origin, at least in the movies. Where it's like, okay, I used to live there. I used to be part of it, at least part of royalty.
Right. Well, but that's what I'm trying to say. The third movie that was called Ariel's Beginning, they did say about the mom, and it sounded like, and that's why Triton has a thing against the humans, was because of
Makes
that.
Sense.
Of the wife dying from humans. So I think she wanted to go do I don't know. I have to rewatch that movie again to see, because I do say there is a scene about it.
But I do want
But Ariel looks like her mom, basically. The character, if you see Ariel, is the one that looks like her mom.
Right.
They look about strikingly the same.
Do you know what's that actress's name? Okay, hold on.
Well, you gotta give me a. If you don't know the name, but description if they're in the
have
movie.
you? Well, because I was gonna say, have you ever heard of the show Orange Is the New Black?
Yes.
Okay.
I never watched it, but I know of it. So, like, I know, like, certain characters, people, if I watched them. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know? Or I think it's one of the. I can't remember. I don't know if it's Orange is the New Black or something else. But there's an African American transgender woman.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh, I know who you're talking about, and she played in the new Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes.
I
want her.
I
want her as Ursula.
That would be cool, but I don't think so.
Why?
They're already on the freaking.
No, I know. But I'm saying,
Melissa
like,
McCarthy.
if you gave her that role as like in like a Ursula up and coming story.
Well, possibly, but it depends on who. Well, and also too.
Because she would have that nice deep voice.
Okay. The question is, when does she become purple? 2, how they're gonna make her look like in the live action too. Because the way this, like even what Caleb said over here about the Wonder of the Crow is the prequel to the live action movie, which is because they're saying this Cruella movie is based in the 1970s. Are we doing like this Ursula based on the new live action movie that's coming out with everybody else? Though we already talked about, or are we doing a prequel to?
Well, no, but I'm saying
that's what I'm trying to say because you got these two different genres of it. Okay,
no,
you got the animated and live action.
It's like what happens though if she was just purple to start with?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what the live action is going for. It depends on what the live action is.
What happens if she was like somewhat purple to start with, and she was actually like a naturally beautiful woman? It's just somewhere along the way, as punishment of Triton, he turns her into this ugly sea witch that no man would touch. And that's her motive for revenge. But
also, too, you got to think about it, too. Like, you can't just have 2 different actresses on it, either. I know, like, you can't do Glenn Close. Glenn Close can't go back to being young, but probably Emma Stone looks more like a Glenn Close that would age, to that point, to where we're at the Cruella and the live action. But I'm talking about skin color wise, I'm talking about
because when you do a lot of this.
I'm sorry, I'm very animated with myself. Shout out, how about Scar snapping? What? Not I'm not gonna send you a link when I have time to watch it from the Lion Guards playing how Scar got Scar and Mufasa pushing home side only to see him to need to see. Okay, but. Well, also too, but I really wish Disney would keep going on that rail of the villains movies. See where they're coming from. Where was
that book series that I saw your brother Bryson reading.
Well, but he told me the Aladdin one's really like, whew. No, yeah, it doesn't tell you that, but it's a lot of adult themes in that Aladdin one.
Which again, they could try to kick down to kid friendly.
Well, it's just twisted stories. You're basically listening to the same story, but maybe there's some other stuff in there. But anyways, also, they're coming out with Indiana Jones 5 in 2021, July 9th. Thor, Love and Thunder, November 5th of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Avatar 2 is coming out December 17th, 2021.
Oh, wow.
Black Panther 2 is coming out May 6th, 2022. I want a prequel to Descendants about the parents establishing the United States of Oradon and how Hades got captured by Beast. Okay. I don't know that Hayes got captured by Beast, but okay. I think they all just got thrown in. I don't know how they did that, but I get that. Avatar 3 is coming in 2023. Avatar 4 is coming in 2025, December 19th. And then Avatar 5 is in 2027. Awaiting premiere dates. Little Mermaid's awaiting their premiere date. Mm-hmm. Whoop-de-doo. The Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is waiting for their date.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one's going to be an interesting one. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is getting their own live-action movie. We don't know when, or, who's directing or starring. So, but that's another one that they're doing is that. So, this show, Shadow, take place in between movie 2, if you didn't know. Oh, she's talking about the video she sent you. Jungle Book 2, but John Favreau is coming back as the director, as he did the first one. That's coming out. We don't know when it's coming out, but they're in the works with it. Lilo and Stitch is getting a live action. They're going to do the live action / CGI trend.
Oh, I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
I'm trying to think of any other Disney ones. That's Sword in the Stone is getting a live action.
That I'd like to see.
But that's going towards Disney Plus. It's not going to come through theaters, but it's going through Disney Plus. Sword in the Stone is. But the Blue People Avatar, Rachel. They're getting all those other sequels. They got 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. I heard the Hunchback of Notre Dame won't even start production until the actual Notre Dame gets rebuilt because they're working on getting permission to film there. And that'd be true, Caleb. And I think that might be the reason why they don't have a date. They have to wait till, like I said, they probably want to get the actual place. But if they really want to, and if they have a time crunch, they'll probably have to do some like CGI of it or something to that effect. Because I mean, movies don't, like a lot of them sit there, and if they sit there long enough, then they get forgotten, and it won't be a thing. But yeah, but that's just the first one. They want to keep going with the story. Well, because I think they're going off the fact that the guy went from his human form to Avatar. I think that's what they're doing. It's going through him as being an avatar. I think, Rachel. So, yeah, it's just, that's how that's going to go. But like I said, some of these movies I'm excited, and there's some I'm just kind of like, okay, I can get over it. Like, no offense, guys, I'm not a Star Wars fan. Can care two hoots. The same with Marvel. Like, I'll go see them. Well, maybe not so much Star Wars. I don't just go randomly see, but I'll go random. Damn, guys, this would be creepy. Well, I'm assuming the aliens will be CGI. All the aliens, like Stitch, will be CGI. All the other ones will be CGI. I think the live action people will be the actual people, like Lilo, Nani, and all of them. They'll probably actually be the live action. So to me, that would be what I consider live action, is when we have actual people in there. So like Jungle Book, I consider live action when most of the animals were CGI, but there was at least one character that was live. So that's how I consider it fully live. Like Lion King, people call it live, but it's not really. If you think about it, it's not. It's just animated, just to look real. And I've also heard, guys, that in the works too, they're doing a Bambi live action. That one I haven't heard too much, but it's just like it was thrown out to public, I'm assuming, or whatever. So be on the lookout. There might be a Bambi live action. Camera quit acting like a crazy. Camera's acting crazy, guys. So I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical with Bambi, just as much as I was skeptical with Lion King, because there's just like no human interaction. So it's going to be like CGI the whole entire time. So yeah, yes and no. It's a dark movie. Yes, it is a dark movie in some aspects, but it's not that dark because it. Yeah, only thing is like he lost his mother, but the rest of it looks just like typical whatever. So I don't think it'd be like so dark. It's not really that dark of a movie besides the mama getting killed. But what any other Disney movie that there's at least a parent that passes away or dies from something. So the one that I would consider to be more of a darker movie if they ever did a live action with Pinocchio, that was really dark of a movie. Like, it was just like, it seemed like it just never went up. It just kept going down, down, down to the darkness or whatever. But most of, like, if anybody doesn't know that Walt Disney, the reason why there's always at least one parent dead is because of Walt Disney himself in his life. His mom passed away from carbon monoxide poisoning because of a hot water heater. And he always blamed himself for so many years because he bought that house for his parents. And he blames his mom's death on himself because of the house. Didn't get checked or whatever back at the time he did it. So he always had that guilt. And that's why you see most of Disney's way of parents and stuff, at least one parent is not present. Or they died or whatever. 999% out of the time.
Sorry, I watched a little bit of that to figure it out. One, whoever's playing the voice actor of Scar in The Lion Guard looks dumb. It sounds dumb as hell. I like that gravelly Jeremy Irons, like,
yeah,
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Right? I'm wondering that because it seems like Jon Favreau takes all the animals. A live action movie.
Number two, I don't like their version of Scar's origin story. So apparently, Scar finds another lion that tells him about power and all this stuff, only for him to get somehow a giant fucking claw-like scar on his eye from a snake. Which makes no sense to me.
I almost want to say like how he got. I mean, I understand that what Lion Guard did, but you got to think about. And I'm also thinking too, they're doing a kid version.
Yeah, and then it's like,
down to a kid.
Mufasa named me Scar, and from that moment on, I thought he shouldn't be king, and it was just like, that is the dumbest fucking reason.
Yeah, no offense to that. I know they did that, but that was too much like kiddie version toned down. I don't think it was the correct way. I don't think it was the correct way to do it. I haven't seen it, but what you're telling me, it sounds like that wasn't a correct way to do it.
No. I mean, in all honesty, I think the reason why he would have been named Scar is it's kind of like
I'm wondering if him and Mufasa had a great fight.
They had a great fight, and that's how he got it, was from Mufasa. And then ever since, his original name was just turned into Scar as kind of like a punishment.
Or revenge, like, you gave me this scar. So it was like more like a reminder, I have this scar on my face. I gotta get revenge on Mufasa. Yeah. So it's like a revenge thing. So that's why he named himself Scar.
Not only did you like scar me for life, but you took what was supposed to be mine as well. Or
it could be like this too. Like Scar's the oldest. He was supposed to reign, but Mufasa somehow stepped in for some odd reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like he stepped in,
like overpowered him in some way. You know, to that extent.
Maybe he thought his rule of terror or his rule back then wasn't well thought out or something, and it was doing more harm than good. And then they brought out a big battle between it.
Or something, you know. That's why. I mean, there's a lot of ways you could go with the story. There's a lot of ways. So I mean, it's not like it's a guaranteed or whatever, but it would be nice to see. I mean, hopefully if Disney's listening, guys, I hope you're getting some ideas. We're talking about how to do a movie. Please follow.
Yeah, please follow. Contact us. We've got ideas.
Oh, trust me. If they can get more of us people to actually give ideas, I think it would be better for Disney. But but Disney's in their own little world at this moment. Right now, they're probably all too focused on this hurricane that's happening right now. That's heading their way this weekend.
Right.
So, which I don't blame them because I would, And Disney has gone through one hurricane already. They have closed down Disney. I think they take down the castle or something. They do something with the castle. I don't remember what they do and what they.
How do you take down a castle?
It's not like. It's like parts, you know that, right? That's how they put it together. It's in parts. It's not just...
The big boy castle?
Yeah, the big one. The big Cinderella's castle. Yes, they could take it apart all they want to.
Huh?
Uh-huh. Oh, I know this. I've watched it, how they made it. It's in parts if they... But I think most of it's cemented and whatever, but I think they have on certain levels, I think they take down certain things. Or they protect it in some ways. I don't remember how they did it. I don't remember how they did it the last hurricane that hit Florida around that time. I think it was one of them. But anyways, I think we're good with the Disney, what movies are coming out in Disney+. There's but there's some that are still being determined, so we don't know until later on in life or years or whatnot.
Right.
So on to Disney news that's going around and buzzing around Disney news. This one I totally found yesterday at noon. Come to find out. Disney World guests are suing Disney for
bugs in their lettuce.
Yeah, bugs in their food. Cool. Yes, awesome. This story, this family, they went to go to this buffet bar. Well, that's fine, Rachel. You can like it all you want to. I don't have no problems with it. I'm just talking for a better storyline on the Scar and Mufasa. So, but anyways, this family is vacationing in Disney. I'm assuming they're staying at the Polynesian Resort. They became extremely sick upon eating food that was contaminated with dozens of live insects at Disney Polynesian Resort. Yeah, Village Resort. These the Walker family. I'm going to go with the Walker family because that's actually a name that's like, I'm not going to tell people's names. It's just that the Walker family have sued Walt Disney Parks and Resorts doing business at Oasis Bar and Grill and Disney's Polynesian Villas and Bungalows Condominium Association for damage in excess of $15,000. Their lawsuit claims that a buffet in the club level lounge at Disney's Polynesian Resort included built your own lettuce wrap station. And the food on the station was covered with dozens of live insects. Orlando something also reports that there are photographs filed with the lawsuit show insects on the lettuce. After consuming multiple lettuce wraps, the Walker family felt something crawling inside of her mouth and removed that what appeared to be a small green object that had legs and was moving, the lawsuit reads. Okay, that's interesting. In December, the defendants allegedly served food to Walt Disney World guests who required multiple visits via ambulance to the emergency room due to food poisoning. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
The plaintiff's injury of food poisoning and subsequent illnesses diagnosed by the plaintiff's treating physician is a type of injury that ordinarily does not occur unless someone's I can't even say that one.
Negligence?
Yeah, there. According to the lawsuit. Despite the guest claims, Disney believes that the alleged food poisoning isn't a result of the food consumed at the Disney Polynesian Village Resort. Enjoying high-quality meals in clean and safe restaurants is an important part of the Walt Disney World Resort vacation, stated a Disney spokeswoman in response to the lawsuit. We do not believe the claimed illnesses were a result of the guests' dining experiences, and we will defend against these allegations in court. Since the lawsuit was just recently filed last week, it is currently unclear what will become of it, especially given Disney's response. We keep you updated as this story develops. So, this story. I know bugs are edible, guys. Yeah, really. They are edible. Extra protein, guys. Whoop-de-doo. But anyways, with this whole lawsuit thing, which I'm just kind of like...
Oh, no, hold on. Before you even begin, I have to tell you. So I already showed you. They already took a photo of the fucking lettuce thing or whatever it was, and with the bugs on it, and yet has still decided to basically eat it. Or
see, that I was going to get there. It's like, this lawsuit is more of a bullshit lawsuit. I'm going to go with this. It's bullshit. It's totally bullshit. Because, one, if you're sitting there seeing all these bugs all crawling all over your food,
if you
or you see that in the freaking buffet thing, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be that person to be like, hey, sir, madam, whoever
there's
that
bugs in my food.
Or no, you might want to take care of that lettuce right now. There's bugs all over it. If it's like that,
I'm sorry. If you had enough time to sit there and look at your food, because I'm sorry, you're not gonna sit there and just go.
But if you're getting off of a buffet, you're seeing the food as you're grabbing it, too.
Yeah. I mean, so you're not going to just sit down, ignore your food, whatever. You're going to look down at your food.
But no, also when you're at a buffet, when you're grabbing the stuff, you'll be seeing it, too, because you're looking at it like, oh, I want that lettuce. Oh, I want this cheese or whatever, how you make it. You would actually see it right there on the buffet. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be that person that's not going to sit there, ignore it. I think we get a lawsuit, so just don't say nothing.
Right?
Seriously.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Okay, so like you and I said, half of it is Disney's fault because they really do need to check their foods.
Which I understand sometimes they can get. I understand it's a thing, but they could probably get busy depending on what they're doing. Right. Whatever. I get it. We get it. Disney is a busy place. You got all kinds of people, different people. You got people that are just assholes.
The rest of it is literally the person in question's fault because it's just like, well, we spent about $5,000 to get here. Why not get an extra $10,000?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get. If you're seeing this, I'm sorry, and I'm going to see they're not going to get the money.
No.
They're not going to get that money.
No.
Yeah, but 95% of places will comp the person for their stupidness to shut them up. Possibly, but I think Disney is more going to be in the right than these people. Because, for one, these, like, how I understand they got the pictures, but it's like, for one, you could have done something to it. We don't know if you had a jar of bugs. Two.
Well, you can't. Last time I checked, you can't carry anything glass related in there.
But I'm talking about any container. You can put in a freaking water bottle that's served at Disney. I'm talking about any cups. Like you could go grab insects off the property of Disney itself. You could have done it yourself. You could have. They could have done it.
True.
So they could have put the bugs on them themselves just to get something. Two, they knew about it, but didn't want to say shit.
Yeah, so you
So they could
basically
get-
willingly ate bugs and let them crawl
Yeah.
in your stomach for God knows how long.
Well, when you eat them, they're going to be dead anyways because you do that. Besides that one that was still in her mouth. That
but either way, just the idea to.
But it's not going to harm you. You shouldn't get that sick, really, from
No.
bugs. That's what I'm getting at. It's like you shouldn't have been that sick from bugs because bugs you can't eat because people do eat bugs. That it's just protein or whatever. But you shouldn't get sick unless you ate a poisonous bug.
I mean, realistically, coming from us, because we've done the same thing at one point on our road trip from Arizona back to here. We've tried bugs, like the little bug candies, and what do they taste like? Peanuts, or sunflower seeds.
But like I said, it's protein. It's not going to kill you to eat bugs.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. They're not going to win. And I'm going to tell them that right now. They're not going to win.
No.
Because, seriously, Disney's usually pretty good on points with their food. And if they see, and it depends on what, I've never been to the Polynesian in the Oasis, where they went and ate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar, like, how everything's set up in there.
Right.
So I don't know if it's, like close to outside or not. But like I said, like, for example, like the Tusker one that I went to eat at, it was in the African Pavilion in Animal Kingdom, and you got a lot more of the outside stuff. They keep an eye on their food, and it's more like the outside way. I mean, there's still doors that are closed and everything, but if it's close to that, they're usually pretty on point of watching the food because somebody's in there interchanging at all times.
Oh yeah.
Something has to be interchanged, because somebody ate all of the lettuce, somebody ate all this and this and this. Heck, scorpions, you can eat them. Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. Any bugs you can pretty much eat. To an extent, I should say. My best bet is either they did it themselves or they knew about it, didn't want to say nothing because they want to get a lawsuit just to be whining people. So, I mean, there's so many stuff that I can sit there and see and be like, they're not going to win. This is just one of those other stupid lawsuits because people think because Disney's a big old corporation, we can get money off of them. So let's go after them.
Speaking of...
What was speaking of?
Disney has collaborated with Funko again.
Well, they always do.
Yes,
that's what you get all these old Funko Pop stuff.
But this time they're going to be Funko, Ulta Beauty, and Disney. So these are Funko licensed pop collectibles with makeup. Like a cosmetic collection.
Well, Disney already has their own cosmetic collection.
So not only does it feature a Funko Pop little, figurine like Ursula, but you would get like all the makeup, like materials for her.
Oh, that's cool, awesome. I mean, that's good for people that want to do cosplay. I mean, nothing against that. I'm like, I would not mind, but I know it's going to be a heck of a expensive.
So they're going to be they're going to do Disney villains such as Cruella de Vil, Maleficent, Ursula, Evil Queen from Snow White, and many, many more.
Yeah, but that's going to be costing like a buku's of money. Like, I would not mind doing that because I want to do cosplay of like different Disney characters. I really want to get down and start actually doing it.
Right.
Because I've been holding back so much in my life. I kind of want to go and cosplay Disney stuff. So, but yeah. I don't know. Is there any more other Disney news that you could think of? We've been doing this for about an hour now.
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Disney News. I'm your host. Well, whatever. Anyways, so the Disney stock went up about 1.5% or 1.44 points. Or actually, it went up $1.44, making the stock currently at 140. We're currently now actually at $138 per share. And it's still rising. Their expected growth by the end of the night is up to $145 per stock share.
So I'm thinking because of this weekend, if it all goes well and the storm behaves itself.
Yeah, if the storm behaves itself,
Galaxy's Edge is opening at Disney World, so that could be a good gross of income. Then you're gonna wait till about October for Maleficent 2, The Mistress of Evil, and then the next month in November. Frozen 2. I think Frozen 2 is what they're going to bank on. That's what they're
they're going to bank on that the most. But so for
what about the Disney and Sony thing? Oh,
I'll get into that in a second. Okay,
the Spider-Man
I will get into that in a second. So for those who are interested in playing stocks, it's still under the $150 line. Buy now. Get as many shares in as possible if you have enough money. Wait until the next wait until the close of the fiscal year, which will be about, March, April of 2020. Sell everything, at least make a nice profit off of each one, because, its gross right now is up to an expected $200 per share. You can make a nice $60 to $80 depending when you sell out. So if you get 10 shares, that's an extra $800 in your pocket. Think smarter, not harder. So buy like a bull now, wait for it like a bear, and then sell at the right moment when it peaks. Now, as for the Disney-Sony deal,
with Spider-Man, it's basically just Spider-Man that they're concerned about.
Yes. So Sony owns the rights to the Spider-Man franchise that everybody knows about. So if anybody's like, oh, Disney owns Spider-Man, no, Sony Pictures owns Spider-Man, because they've been doing it ever since the first Spider-Man movies. So, but I guess what happened was Disney tried striking a new deal to Sony about, hey, how, this is how much we're getting, this is how much you're getting.
Right.
And Sony did not like the fucking deal. They felt like they were getting fucked. So Sony said, no. We'll hold our rights to Spider-Man until you can come up with a new deal.
Yeah.
And they're backing and forthing on Stan Lee's baby, basically.
Right.
And it got to the point where his daughter did not approve of this. And, instead of backing and forthing and bickering,
yeah, she did.
Work together and make a nice 50-50 compromise. You get 50, you get 50. It's not fucking 7. Well, because I guess what Disney was trying to do was pull an 80-20. They get 80% of the proceeds. Sony only gets 20, but Sony is the one that's distributing the movie.
Right.
And licensing and it's like, no. I mean, if it was 60-40, maybe Sony would be like, okay, granted we're not getting as much, but fine, whatever. But whoever's behind the Disney thing is literally just pulling off oh, more money for us, fuck you.
Right.
And yeah, no, I agree with Sony at least on that. You guys got to make or at least Stan Lee's daughter. You got to make a nice 50-50 down the road. Because you may have bought the rights to Marvel, but there are other distributors that owns the franchises. As you can clearly tell, Sony owns Spider-Man. Who owns Deadpool, let's say.
I think Deadpool.
Deadpool. Yeah, Deadpool is 20th Century Fox. Granted, now, Deadpool is now owned by Disney.
Yeah.
But if 20th Century Fox was its own entity again, they would be pulling off the same stunt.
Yeah, but
where it's like, no,
they gave all their rights up. Sony hasn't gave rights up, their company up yet. So so Sony's still their own entity. So
well, I mean, as you can tell, not only they're making movies and they're doing really good at them, but the PlayStations and the whatever.
Well, I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
But other than that, most likely Spider-Man will be leaving.
There is more news about the Spider-Man thing, though. Did you get back and tell everybody what happened about that father? With the tombstone?
Well, we haven't talked about that yet, because I think it was after the fact, because we were on vacation and stuff.
So, we found we found more news about the father of the child who passed away, the 2-year-old that passed away, and he wanted Spider-Man on his tombstone. Well, the dad just pretty much said, fuck it.
No, he put up a temporary one.
Yeah, he put up a temporary one because of, Disney's little cease and desist bullshit.
Well, he did a temporary one, and he was trying to get he did already a temporary one. He was trying to get the rights, from Disney.
Right.
Whatever.
And Disney went as far as to say, take down that tombstone. Even if it was a temporary one, take down that tombstone because it has our image on it.
Right. Well, technically they can't. That's actually Sony's now.
Yes. So if the dad really wanted to, the dad could just be like, hey, Sony, is it okay if I use this image for my son's grave?
Right. If he thought about it like that.
But yeah, Disney wanted to play their little, cease and desist. You have to take down that temporary tombstone or we'll sue you. And it's just like, well, fuck you, Disney.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know any more about that. I haven't seen that story go float around anymore. So I don't know what's, the deal is. Or I don't know if
I'm guessing it's still, in the works.
But like I said, nobody gave us updates on that story. That's like the farthest update I got was that they told to take down the temporary Spider-Man.
I mean, that was 2 weeks ago, and I think the last time we talked about that story was about a month
ago, yeah. So, yeah. Still nothing new yet, so. Unless you're finding something that I missed.
I'm actually going to look it up.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, no. This story still continued. Yeah, Disney still refuses to give father's request to Spider-Man on son's tombstone. Latest one was in August, and yeah, they gave him a cease and desist on the fucking tombstone. He is not. Lloyd Jones, the father of his son Ollie. The boy suffered from leukodystrophy, a rare genetic disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he took his son to Disneyland before he passed. And yeah, to show Ollie's love of Spider-Man, he wanted a photo of Spider-Man engraved on his son's grave. So he asked the Walt Disney Company. They refused. Because it would ruin the innocence and magic of the company's famed characters. So he did a temporary, and then they gave him a cease and desist. For that reason, the Walt Disney himself the Walt Disney Company themselves do not permit the use of the characters on the headstone, cemetery, or other memorial markers of funeral urns.
That's bullshit. Totally bullshit. You know what? I'm going to go with this. If the father did not even ask, Disney would not even know. So, once the father asked about it, he was under a microscope with them. Because,
I give him credit, though.
No, but listen to this.
He played it correctly.
But listen to this. Disney wouldn't even care. Because you know what? There's a family friend, their kids, has a gravestone because she died drowning. Unfortunately, I think at 2 years old or something like that.
Right.
Or 3 years old. Her gravestone has Winnie the Pooh on it. That was her favorite thing. And Winnie the Pooh is owned by Disney.
Yes.
I haven't seen them say anything.
No, because they don't know.
That's the thing. Most of these people just need to get over it and be like, don't even ask them. Because if you just don't ask, they're not going to care. But once you start asking, they put you under a microscope to see what you're doing behind the scenes.
Right. So the most they did was they continued with, although we cannot grant your family's request, we would be pleased to commemorate your son with a hand-inked, hand-painted, personalized cell that recognizes his love for Spider-Man, which will read, for you, Ollie, thank you for letting us share the magic in your life, your friends at the Walt Disney Company.
See, that's stupid. That is just stupid.
Right. So,
it's even though I love Disney, but there's just some stupidity that Disney just needs to quit. And I'm sorry, I want to ask, how does one become a CEO of fucking Disney? Because I will go there and be a
The
CEO.
company's refusal has outraged users on social media for over months now, prompting the creation of an online petition that forces Disney to allow the family to use Spider-Man on Ollie's grave. This petition currently sits at over 12,000 signatures. That's the time that story's released. In July, they reprised and said it's currently at 26,000 now.
Right.
The father says, this meant everything to us. My life's been shattered, and it's shattered the whole family. We can't move on until we have this headstone done. Spider-Man was a big influence in Ollie's life. He loved him so much.
But like I said, I know it's a bad thing in some ways, but then again, just don't ever say what you're going to do. Don't even ask sometimes, because it's like, How many people are going to sit there and go try to find every freaking people's gravestone and see if they have a Disney marked owned thing? I bet you there's a lot of people out there that has something that's consistent Disney owned property of characters.
Right.
You're going to tell them that's been sitting there for years on end. You're going to tell them, like, hey, take it down. Take it down. Take every gravestone down. Good luck. Then that's when you're going to set more people off on fire. And you're going to get more on the petition of people, like, saying you should.
Well, no, it's even got so far that...
Rachel's asking, can you share the link to her?
So it's even... Oh, no, you can easily find the story on Google. There's like, multiple sites that show them off.
Yeah.
It's even got so far that this story has reached out to Tom Holland himself.
Oh, I believe it, because he's the recent Spider-Man at this moment.
Right. Okay, so... can you... oh, wait, never mind. I was going to say, can you switch it over to webcam, but I forget we're on webcam. Can you at least show me on the OBS? So this is kind of the rough draft of what he wanted to create as a tombstone for his son. Where it's like, Spider-Man on it, what it needs to say, all that jazz. So it's like Spider-Man, Ollie Jones, the name of the kid, all that stuff. "36 inches by 46 inches. That was the headstone that he planned for his own son. Which, I mean, okay, that looks pretty cool. Shows that his son really does love Spider-Man after all, and, the dad was willing to go that far to ask the company to get the legal rights to say, hey, I want to do this for my son. He played it the right way,
right?
Which I give him credit for.
I give the credit he did play it correctly, but then again, this just tells me more. It's like, don't even go ask.
Yeah, it really just tells you, don't even ask, just fucking do it, because they can't say anything afterwards. Like, They can try, but it's like, what are you gonna? But it's like, okay, what are you gonna do? Cease and desist to skin off my arm?
Right, but that's what I'm trying to say. But more or less, it's still Spider-Man, Rachel. So I mean, even though the design's like old, whatever, but it's still Spider-Man in general.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm saying too, they can't go to find everybody's tombstone in America to sit there and tell them they can't have that on their tombstone. If they tell everybody that has something that's owned by Disney, they're not going to get anywhere, because people are going to get pissed, and then you're going to get a lot of people going backlashing on them. Oh, yeah. And people will get together and they'll do a lawsuit against Disney for being...
No, they'll do even worse. A lawsuit would help, but in the end, you know what hurt Disney the most? If Disney found a way to really piss off the media, doesn't matter if it's fucking Frozen 2, or it doesn't matter if it's The Lion King 2, or,
Oh, yeah, Nadina, we're getting back on the normal schedule every Thursday. This is just the early Thursday one because I'm my work week.
Yeah, and we're about to be ending soon, but... Yeah. So it doesn't matter if it's like Frozen 2, The Lion King 2, Onward 2, I don't give a shit 2.
Whatever, yeah.
If Disney pissed off enough people and they boycott every movie to not go.
Well, right now they're having this issue. Oh, there's another story is they're boycotting Mulan right now. Some people are actually boycotting Mulan because of the actress with her choice, I guess, a Twitter tweet, whatever she did, against what's going on in Hong Kong right now. Mm-hmm. That she is for police brutality.
Well, okay, so for those who don't know, what's going on right now is there's millions, not thousands, millions of protesters, because I guess since the new woman of that area is like their governor or whatever, mm-hmm. or mayor or whatever, she's basically garnishing more wages for higher up people, but the lower people suffer. But they're doing all the work.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
it's like big businesses take mm-hmm. more, while those who are working take less.
Right.
And millions of people are pissed because it's like, that's not how it works.
Right.
We're working our asses off just to survive.
Also, too, trying to get into it, too, because Hong Kong is its own little, like, kind of like a country, basically.
Oh, yeah.
It's its own country, kind of like the Vatican City, basically.
Oh, yeah. So
it's still in China, but it's own little thing.
Millions work their asses off on a daily basis to make money, to survive.
But Hong Kong's getting pissed at China because China's stepping in, basically.
Yeah, and China's stepping in and trying to fuck their shit up, and it's like,
well, no, but they're trying to help the small people. They're saying that's wrong.
Anyways, but this woman just does not care, and it's been rioting for about a month now, almost a month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, the police brutality is high. They've gone so far as to pepper spray, bomb, and even shoot unarmed, non-violent civilians.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I can understand if she made a post that said,
I think a lot of people were kind of upset with her with it is because, well, for one, she's not living in Hong Kong. She's in America. Why does she? She's an American, like an Oriental American. You know what I'm saying? Like African American,
Asian American.
Here it is, Asian American. That's what she is. She's not. She's never lived in Hong Kong and all that stuff, so she doesn't have no right to really say anything. Even though her family's from there, like I'm saying, the family. But she has no right to say it, which I understand. It's kind of like me sitting there going, "Okay, I'm part I'm Scottish." It's like me sitting there tweeting about Scotland's issues when I don't even never lived in Scotland in my life.
Well, okay, so let me break this down into one sentence: American news versus world news. That's why.
But either or. But
no. So American news has stated out where it's just like, oh, it's not that bad.
But that doesn't matter whatever the news does. Because
no, it is.
It depends on what people are telling you too. It's like,
well,
it doesn't matter. It's the feed. It could be the news. It could be anybody. It could be like my freaking grandma that was from Scotland.
Think about it. You're a celebrity. You're more focused on movies, contracts, whatever. You turn on the news and you hear it. Americanized news 9 times out of 10 is bullshit. So you're led to believe. I know,
but it's the same way if it wasn't in the news. It could have been like your grandma that lives in Hong Kong.
I understand. But that's if she had contact with them.
Well, but that's what I'm trying to say. But
more times than not, the stupid American mentality is if it's on TV or if it's on the internet, it must be true. Same thing with like the pro-Jared bullshit.
Well, I understand, but that's what I'm trying to say.
So if you take one aspect,
she needs to not say nothing. That's what I'm trying to say. She had no saying that. She needs to sit there and thinking of herself. Like it'd be like me sitting there saying, "Oh, Scotland's doing this," blah blah blah. I'm part Scottish. Yes, I am majority Scotland. But what right do I have to sit there and talk about their issue? What their issue is?
I'm saying, please. You know how much flack I get for being French? Oh, French. Oh, you dudes make wine, kidnap people, and it's like
no. But it's like
you'd be surprised. The kidnap rate in France is actually lower than that.
But it's not that. It's just like me sitting there like, oh, I should deeply feel for the Scotland people because I'm part Scotland. Like whatever they're doing, like if they're having a big protest about their country, whatever. I know Stewie would probably tell me whatever, but still. But I have no right to sit there and say anything because I don't live in Scotland for one.
Nope.
Never have in my life. So why do I need to sit there and tweet? Oh, and that's what I'm saying with her. Why? Why did you even tweet? That you should not tweet because, for one, are you living there? 2, how you probably would never visit. Well, you probably did visit, but you don't live there or have never lived there. So you have no more right to say about it because it's like you're just an American.
Politics.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's when the people just sit there and look at it and shut up about it.
Yeah, it's because when you hear the news and you whatever, you go into political mode. You think whatever you think is right and everything else is wrong.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
That's the problem.
And that's what I'm trying to tell people. It's like, don't do it. If you're not sitting there have a residence.
Hence, like, take a look at my thing. When we talked about, like, on my stream, my thoughts, my own political thoughts, pissed off.
That's fine,
somebody
whatever.
else,
that happens here because it's actually an American thing that happens. Well, I'm saying it does happen. It's in America. It's an American thing. But I'm talking about like, okay, whatever Hong Kong's doing with their political stuff. If you're an American and you're all lived here, were born here, whatever, and you're living here, this is your residence.
Yeah, if you're living in America, focus on American politics.
Don't focus on something that's over there, even though it's not your whatever you call it, race or whatever. Great, but you just need to shut up about it. Because right now, what you just did, girl, you kind of just set yourself into a freaking. Either you're not going to get, downward spiral. Like you're not getting no more movie deals. No one wants to do with you. I'm surprised. I'm really sitting here seeing if Disney's going to listen and keep the movie going.
Sorry, I couldn't talk with a chip in my mouth like that.
Yeah,
that's what it was like, downward spiral.
Yeah, but anyway, sorry. So we got that because of the. Yeah, she'll be blacklisted because of that. Like, who wants a radical? Because that to them, it's like you're a radical person. If you don't have no control of what you're saying on social media, and I know by now the tweet's probably taken down, but still, once the tweet happens, it's there for a while.
The damage is done.
Yeah, the damage has already been done. Once you hit that tweet button, it's out there.
I mean, again,
it doesn't matter how long it stays up there.
Take a look at other people like pro-Jared. People have caused controversy on him, and then they decided to delete their tweets, he made sure to fucking photograph the tweets just to be safe because it was out there.
Right.
Trying to.
It could be out there for 10 minutes, but still.
It could be out there for a minute, 30 seconds. Even if it's out there for 30 seconds and someone sees it, it's.
Yeah. So basically, we'll see how Mulan comes out to be. If it's going to be a thing or not, we don't know. We got till 2020, so we got till March. See if anything happens. But anyways, guys, I gotta get going because it's noon. We've been doing this for about an hour and a half. Almost, well, not really almost 2 hours, but just an hour and a half. So next Thursday, we'll have another podcast in the evening. And also, I'm going to tell you this, guys. I don't know if I'll get it or not, depending. But I am transferring myself at my job for better time. So if I get the job the way to get it, I'll be doing more of the podcast in the evenings because I'll be working during the day. And I'll be working every week. So when that happens, the podcast schedules will be changed.
They'll be permanently around 8:00 at night,
or roughly that time. So more or less, that's what he said. So I really don't do too many raids, Rachel. So it's just because it's just a podcast. I just kind of just let it go with some ways. If people find me, great. But so everybody, you guys have a magical day.
Bye, everybody.
Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.
Bye.